How's it going, guys? This is David Blade Banter giving you a overview, unboxing of a new knife from CRKT. I don't have too many from CRKT. I kind of started out with them for the Tactile 2, was kind of my button lock, a lot of different flipping mechanisms. CRKT, if you ever come back to that, slight improvements would be wonderful on those. So now, one of the things, just tolerance-wise, but one thing that I really appreciate about their recent moves is that they have something that you can stay with. So with CRKT before, they kind of topped out, and they're not really there for the enthusiast market or people that kind of stayed within the hobby. So now they have something available to that. So they have some of the custom runs. They have their USA made now by Hogue knives. And then they have just some different things going on. They've always been one that kind of innovated, one that kind of played around a little bit. Always worked with great designers, but they always kind of topped out, and then they never really pushed the mark. And it's like you kind of grew out of the brand. So one thing, CRKT, thank you very much for that, for allowing that to happen. I handled this at the show. The reason why I picked it up after the show is actually from Knife Center. So for David C. Anderson, he actually talked about it, actually talked with designer Michael Walker, and kind of the history of it, and actually seeing how he unlocked it. So like when I first picked it up, really, I picked it up off the shelf, and then I looked at it, and I tried to release it one-handed, and I was like, it's not just not enough space for me to get that in there. So I picked up another one. I put it back. But when I looked at Michael Walker, he released it with his pointer finger. So I'm going to see how that works. But it's just one thing to really support them on their journey. This one is the one that's made in Italy, so it's not going to be a USA-made knife. But for the materials, for Damascus steel, for the pivot area, some of the dragon scale, the anodization, I think it looks good. I hope it matches up. Because my initial impression wasn't great, but it went along with the story, and again, to support for CRKT. So I bought this directly. They didn't send it to me out of review or anything else like that. So this is kind of my Blade Show knife I picked up after Blade Show. But we're going to look at it FedEx box, so we're going to see how this looks. Open that up. And then that was sitting there for a little bit, but anybody that says that Atlanta has bad allergies, you haven't experienced Oregon allergies. I lived in Hawaii before, and then Oregon allergies are horrible. Like having like needles in your eyes, just really bad stuff. So I don't know if you guys can see, but my eyes are like red, they're itchy, and, it's bad. So if you love Oregon, we have nice trees and everything else, but we also have horrible allergies, at least for me. So I'm going to go over that. So nice box, nice presentation. Yeah, I haven't really seen a CRKT like this. I mean, they've always had their green box for things, and then now you have fancy stuff. And you can see the camera up there. But trying to open this up without cutting the fancy box. So I'll let you look at this one. So I'll pull it up the other one. So while I'm kind of unwrapping this, so I won't open it yet. But so it has a nice feel to it. Kind of a almost like a felt feel to it. But there's the knife. So this is on their website. So hopefully no copyright strikes or anything, but $275 is what I picked up for. And then for material-wise, I mean, that's in the line. And then for them being a large company that has all these retailers and everything else, I mean, it kind of works out pretty well. So M390 titanium, I did pick up this one with the blue. I thought the other one was just a little bit plain, because it was, that's this one here. So it has the dragon scale pattern that he does, but it has the Damascus steel blade, but it's just, for me, it didn't pop very much. I like blue, so I went with this one. So this is the one here, has like a machined satin for it. You can see that on the pivot. There's a Damascus steel pivot, which I haven't seen before. So that's kind of a cool thing about it. So IKBS. Hopefully it's not the IKBS with the little balls that fall all over the place. Hopefully caged on that, but I haven't opened it yet, so we'll see on that later. So this is going to be 3.9 ounces. Blade length is going to be just a little bit over 3. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part about it. Even with the Penguin, it's like a 3.07. I mean, just like probably like kick it down to like 2.98 or kick it up to like 3.25. But we'll see. Maybe I'm going to love it for that. But Michael Walker is this gentleman here. So just a whole bunch of different things that you just come up with. So, I mean, all the little things that you've come to know, I mean, across any hobby or anything else, there's always somebody that invented it, kind of was the start of it. So liner lock, which is really, everybody has a liner lock, everybody has a frame lock. I mean, that was like Mike Walker, Chris Reeve for the frame lock. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of that, but I mean, just the history behind it is just pretty amazing for just where it comes from, and also within the knife community, it's kind of a cool thing. You can actually approach these people and talk to people. They don't have like a little assistant that would kind of be along their side and say, "Oh, I'll set you up an appointment. You can't talk to Mr. Walker right now, but we'll get you set up, and then we'll call you." So none of those things really happen with that. Of course, people are going to be busy and everything else. So if they're working with somebody selling something, don't probably bug them to just like talk about something not related to their knife. But it works out really well for that. So yeah, CRKT, I mean, I haven't seen this type of setup for it, but good on you guys for kind of moving it up a notch. It just has more premium feel this way. I mean, the previous box was good, but it just doesn't have this type of setup for it. It even has the kind of a Jack Wolf style. I mean, this is where I've seen kind of Jack Wolf do that for the cleaning cost, so kind of a nice step up on that for the setup. Different things in here. I haven't seen that before. So that's kind of another silica pack. I haven't seen that one before. Always seen that one before. But those silica packs. So let's see what this looks like. So we will see definitely what this looks like here. But I'll put all that back in there. This is everything you get. There you go. So definitely it has a fairly tactile feel to this as far as that dragon scale. I don't know how that's going to be in pocket because it's going to be on this side as well, but it does have that roller ball. So the other knife I have with a roller ball is like an old Wii knife. This is a bullet. So this is where I never sure you saw kind of roller ball setup. So again, I didn't know Michael Walker did that one, but this is where I kept this one. This is like I guess one of the first lineups for Wii knives, but I still have it in my collection. Still like it. Still like how it feels and everything. But that is going to be how that works. So it does have a little ball there. We'll check it real quick. Take the other knife out of my pocket. Oh, that's a pocket biter. Oh, let's see. Where did that other thing go? Yeah. So that it's kind of hard to put in the pocket. So I think something with it, if the clip was a little bit thinner, maybe it would help with some of the pocket grab. I mean, it's just a very tactile dragon scale for it, but it just doesn't have a lot of give for this. So yeah, it's just not very much. I don't know if this one does have. Yeah, I mean, like this is. So this is the Wii version. This comes through. I'm gonna try it in the front camera. This is the Wii version of it. It just has kind of a bit more give to it. And then there's going to be the CRKT one from Italy. It's just, I mean, I can kind of get, just doesn't have a lot of give. So I think just the styling of it, so it does have a lot of styling on the front side, but it just doesn't have a lot of give. So I think that's one thing that if the clip was a little thinner, in my opinion, again, not messing with design side, definitely everybody has their own preferences, but my own preference, just a little bit more give on that. that might break in because anything does probably break in as it goes, but and that's what it looks like here. So it's a nice setup for it. I don't know if it's numbered. It is not numbered, but 1 of 500. So that's a cool thing. So I'll give you a little bit closer look of it. So definitely nice for it. Again, that Damascene steel pivot. So you get a nice pattern there. These are those dragon scales. Definitely pretty knife, and this relief is a little bit better. And now that I have it in hand, because the one I handled at the show was just a little bit tougher to deal with, because I did see when Michael Walker was working with it, he unlocked it this way to close it, other than doing the one-hand operation. So I thought it was just a little bit needed a little bit more relief on here, but I can work with it. So I think it'll be fine. And then the detent ball is pretty close, so right there, it's going to be on the blade. So right when it hits your thumb, I mean, that's going to be where it's on there. So that works pretty well. Yeah, but still just a little bit harder to get to for that lock bar, and this will kind of break in. But nice setup. I'm pretty satisfied with it. If nothing else, it's for the history of it, having something in hand. I mean, Michael's work, and just doing a quick search on it, goes anywhere from, I think it was like, I mean, he had some production ones, really old CRKT ones, as well as some other off-brand that I haven't heard of. But they have different ones from like $300-$400 all the way up to like $20,000. So it's definitely something that's nice to get something in hand that is from his design, that he commissioned, that he approved of. So this is kind of speaking to what he wants to present for his knife, now for the Monument. So very nice. So action's good on it. Let's check on how we are for that. Where is my measuring thing? So I'm going to put this down. I'll have you guys look at kind of size comparison wise, just because there's the one with the other roller. That's an old bullet knife. That's going to be the CRKT. And we'll throw in the newest one for us for Orion knives. That's going to be that one for the Cetus. So size wise, that's what it looks like. And then going with like a penguin, because just about everybody has a penguin. So it's going to be pretty close to the blade length on that. Has a lot more styling, a lot more milling and everything to it. So that's something that's really awesome. But that is the style I thought it was striking when I first picked it up, and I'll see if that clip wears in. But it has a good feel in hand. No jimping on top. It has crown spine for it, M390. But yeah, it fits well. So I think it's going to be a good knife to use and everything. But let me see if I can find my tool. Oh, there it is. So let's see what the flipper tab, for personally my preference, probably about 2 to 3 pounds for detent pressure, just Lyman pull gauge for that. So now flipper tab only would be about 3 pounds, so let's see where this one sits. So 212, so yeah, that works. 212 works for me for that pressure there. So when that broke, I think that works pretty well. That's another little thing. So if anybody's still with me here, what bugs me about some of the phrasing, you can't push button this because it's like in line with the pivot. Anything that, at least for me, again, terminology, but this is going to be that light switch, that little pull down, you pull it down this way. Push button, I would say pushes this way, so if the flipper tab was below the pivot, then you could probably push button it because you're rotating it down. But this one you cannot push button it because pushing pushes right into the pivot. So you can preload your flip, but I mean there's no push button. So it's a flip. But yeah, check that out for yours. So if you want to pick yours up, a 500 piece run is very low for that. It is looks like a right hand only, maybe. I don't know if it has a pocket in there, so I might need to check on that. It might not have a pocket for it. There's no milling on the inside for that, but it does have, I mean, that inset liner that he was talking about, and some fairly good chamfering for that lock bar relief right there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not this satisfied. A lot of it's nitpicking, a lot of it's going to be personal preference, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I think it's something to own and look at and maybe put back, maybe use it a little bit. But looks like T6s and a T8. No, I'll let you know. But that's what it looks like. So I guess let me know what you think. Pick yours up if you haven't got it yet. Thank you for David C. Anderson for kind of pushing me along a little bit to pick one of these up, because I wasn't going to. But again, supporting as far as their goals, as far as just being able to grow with the brand is, I think, a very important thing for any company, because you don't want to bring somebody in, they love your knife, and then they're like, okay, well, do you offer this or that? Like, no, we don't offer that. You got to go to a competitor for that product. Isn't probably the best either. But yeah, nicely done. No jimping on it whatsoever. Overall, good. Lock relief could be better. But again, Michael Walker, he disengaged it that way. So that's how he disengages his knife. Really just for that reason, it was just like, okay, well, it's not a oversight and it's not a defect, but I still can do it, as you can see, releasing it one-handed, left-handed, I don't know. Yeah, left-handed as well. So nice overall. Only nitpicks I have on it is that's going to be pretty rough on the pocket. Initial impression. I like the rollerball. Clip, I think, is a little bit too thick, so it doesn't have a lot of give. It's very sturdy. So I mean, to get any material on there, there's going to be pretty rough. Well, rough because of the milling, but also rough because it just doesn't give much. And I could bend it, but it also, then it's going to be tippity-tappity on there. So, yeah, that might not be best. But yeah, nice overall, good feel. So if you like it, if you want to support some of the things that CRKT is doing, and if you'd like to support Michael Walker as far as that collaboration, yeah, cool thing. I haven't seen that before for a Damascus steel pivot. This is cool that this is on there. And then really, he said that it meets with a lot of things and a lot of his stylization for a knife. So that's really cool to see when a production knife, as you said, not from a prototype, but like from drawings, could get to this level, and something that he feels kind of embodies what he likes, is pretty cool. So I'm going to look at it, play around with it, but I think I'm going to keep it. I mean, it's nothing that I hate about it. So, yeah, good lockup and everything else, side to side. So Italy's doing pretty well. And yes, Italy had possibly some heat treat things, but I'm not going to be one to really test that as much, truly. But thank you very much, CRKT, for having knives that you can grow with the community, for taking it from this $40 purchase person that was like, that's a lot of money, I can't spend more than that, all the way up to now I feel comfortable spending $275 on a knife, and I'm not sick about it. I like it. So good job. Keep it up. The Hogue side, I've handled those. I'm probably not going to get those, but yeah, it's nice to see something that's USA made from CRKT. So thank you very much, guys. Again, not sponsored, not anything that they gave me. Bought this with my own money, so this is my knife. So check it out. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will try and answer the best I can, and then try and be a little bit more consistent as well. Got a lot going on with Triplet Boys, the QSP side, Orion side, and just life in general, and then allergies. Kind of ruined my day a lot. Like, it's really bad, but you do what you can. But that's about all I have to say about that one. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll check you guys on the next one.